The Justice Department, did you hear about this, announced yesterday that federal prosecutors will not go after people who use or distribute medical marijuana as long as they're following state laws. There are 14 states that allow medical marijuana. The news comes as a new poll shows people's attitudes are becoming more and more tolerant of marijuana. According to a new Gallup poll, 44% of Americans believe marijuana should be made legal altogether. That number had hovered in the 25 to 30% range for the better part of 30 years. Today, we give a morning buzz to the Director of Government Relations for the Marijuana Policy Project, Aaron Houston. Aaron, good morning to you.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
Thanks for getting up so early. All right, boil this down. A lot of people saying who are opposed to this is the slippery slope. Pot's going to be legal everywhere. Everybody's going to be smoking out of their bongs at home and eating Funyuns and all the rest of it. What does this announcement from the Justice Department actually mean, practically?
Right. Yeah, people say that the squirrels will actually even be smoking. Yeah. Well, what this really represents is less of a slippery slope and more of a Berlin Wall falling. We are starting to see the cascading effect of this Berlin Wall of prohibition falling, and it's happening very, very quickly. What we've seen over 30 years is that Americans have seen that Richard Nixon's war on marijuana users just simply hasn't worked. And he used to refer to the silent majority in the country. Well, I think a better thing to describe the drug-using population, particularly marijuana users in this country, is the silenced majority.
Yes.
Because of my particular line of work representing marijuana consumers and medical marijuana patients, people are inclined to tell me things that they may not otherwise tell a lobbyist who say, OxyContin, for example. And so I tend to find out, kind of like a priest, for example, that a lot of people use marijuana. A lot of people talk to me about their experiences with it. And what it lends the sense to me that we cannot be far off, because if everybody just talks to one another, they'll find out it's actually pretty normal.
And a lot of guys on our crew right here nodding their heads in agreement. They're all for it. Where are we? Legalizing is a big leap from where we are right now, but a lot of people calling for this. We just showed the poll that 45% of Americans think that's a good idea. How far off is that, or is that even realistic?
We are on the tipping point right now. And that's the Gallup poll is a very credible tracking over time of public sentiment. But you can point to other polls, for example, the Zogby poll from earlier this year, which actually showed 52% support for legalizing marijuana. Of course, the Gallup poll from yesterday, can't reach such a high number nationally unless you have some pockets of the country that are over 50%. And you see that in the West, for example. California may very well decide to deal with its economic crisis by allowing people to use marijuana freely and allowing free commerce in it. Our current policy just has not worked. We've given an edge in the market to the cartels. Now, at least with the alcohol industry, the Federal Alcohol Administration Act governs unfair trade practices. The cartels have a monopoly on the marijuana business. And, of course, the DEA says that it's their number one cash crop. It is their number one cash crop because they are active in 230 American cities now, the cartels are. If we legalized it, we would actually take it out of their hands. We would take away 70% of their profits.
All right, quickly, Aaron, before we go, and I mean this question with all respect and seriousness, how do you get to be in your position? Are you like a prolific weed smoker? Or how do you get to where you are? How does that work?
Well, actually, my boss plucked me out of the ranks of staffers and Democratic campaign staffers because he saw the need to get people who actually aren't in that realm, but who have been in the political realm and who know that realm. So.
All right, Aaron, whatever you need to tell yourself. Thanks so much, man. Hey, I really appreciate you waking up early with us this morning. Aaron Houston, the Director of Government Relations for the Marijuana Policy Project. Thanks so much. The Berlin Wall has fallen, as you just heard him say.